right, so today we're going to take a look at beginning actions for learning multiple attacks. When you're dealing with more than one person, I found that one of the nicer ways to start is to take it from a position of doing multiple attack from releases. People grappling with you, getting a hold of you, trying to get a little control on you. We'll take a few basic releases, maybe 1 and 2 release, maybe 3 and 4. And we're going to play a game, and Cameron will be the right-handed attacker. And Damon over here will be the left-handed attacker. And first, I just do number 1 release. He attacks the right hand. He attacks the left hand. And it's all very like kata. He attacks the right hand, and he attacks the left hand. And it's predictable. There we go. There we go. And around we go. No big thing. There we go. We just pull off releases as they come in. Now, as you progress with it, the next element to add to incrementally change is that I begin this attack and I'm immediately interested in the next man, because the next man gets to start moving as soon as the first man goes. And we remove the rule about which technique I get to do. I can do whatever release spontaneously fits the moment so that I don't wind up doing some dumb move going into a guy that I don't want to go into. As he starts to attack me at the moment of contact, that gives Cameron permission, then it's now his turn to attack. Ooh, good, good, and a little grip. Good, I want to be looking for the next man, 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 looking for the next man. I never want to get locked down in one position. I'm always looking for the next attack as it occurs. So this starts training you to be not locked into the actual engagement of the person you're getting contact with right off the bat, but you're always ploying off the next fellow, and you're always lining them up so that if you can, you'd like this man's attack to interfere with this man's attack to interfere with this man's attack. So you always give them troubles if you can. Now this gets a little dangerous when you get into high speed, but it's basically the mechanism you're trying to train yourself to make this game work. Now, another wonderful facet of this is using particularly the function of coming under his arm and making little control here. If you do the 5th release, or in this case over here, the 7th release, and you establish a little control on the man, you get to guide them around. So 5 and 7 are very useful. 7 and 8, 8th release, 8th release, pretty useful. 5th release, very useful, because it gives you a moment of control where you can guide him around back into the fellow who's coming at you next. And you don't wind up turning your back on the man coming at you next. You can continue facing them, which is very important. If I spend much time turning away from the guy who's coming next, I can get in a little trouble here. But basically, I continue facing the man, if at all possible. Whew, you can have a lot of nice engagement. Now, we're not going to the full throws yet. We're just basically learning some basic evasion, some basic control and position for Kazushi, and making nice engagement to line them up and cause them to interfere with the next attacking action. The stage past this is where we start including not only being grasped, but hands coming to lay blows on you, or to come and attack the face, for instance. And so in the process, as he's coming up, he has an option. He can be coming in to hit me here. He can be coming in to punch me if he likes, here, or chomping at me, or he can be grabbing me. We really don't care what kind of attack comes at. We care that in the center line, we start a little bit of control. Yeah, if he wants to hold, I'm looking for the next man, looking for the next man, looking for the next man. And we get to start ploying with hands. And one of the sharpest techniques you have in multiple attack, one of the great equalizers as you start getting pressed and overwhelmed, is the shot to the face. Gyakugami-ate, shomanate, gyakugami-ate, shomanate. You can go a long ways just controlling the center line and the face many, many times. Then you start getting more elaborate techniques. You find they're very useful for controlling, making it difficult for the man to ever have the ability to come get you. And so that sort of thing gets involved. So there's a lot of different activities you can get involved with. Controlling one man into the other, wrapping them up on top of each other, and then bothering to throw them as a collective unit, or just always training to perceive what the next attack coming in is. Holding a little moment of control so that you can tie their bodies together and cause that alignment we're talking about. These are all real fun games. And again, you just build it slow, build it gradual, start with the release, do a release, do a release, do a release, do a release. Then you start really paying attention to the next guy. A release, but I'm really interested in him. A release, really interested in him. A release, interested in the next guy. Interested in the next guy. Holding a moment of control. Whoa, he got behind me. When they start slipping up behind you, it gets exciting because eventually they're grabbing and they're attacking from all angles. You can go from 2 people to 3 to 4. 4 is about the hardest. Once you get past 4, they're in their way too much. They start interfering with each other too much. So build up gradual. Start with a couple. Build up from there. Have a lot of fun and be safe. Be careful where you're throwing each other. If you start throwing one guy on top of the other, injury rates go through the roof, and we don't want injuries because that slows down your training. Thank you. Good.